Hi there, welcome back to Sew Making It Up. I'm Ashley. Thanks for tuning in, and today I'm going to talk about my new obsession, which is quilting. And I don't mean the type of quilting that you're now used to do, or hand quilting, although there is lots of hand quilting that's still done and some of it is absolutely amazing. I'm talking about quilting using your sewing machine. So this new obsession came from when my current sewing machine broke, and I had to look at the potential of not having one for about 4 weeks because of that's the length of time that it took to get it into the repair cycle. So somebody suggested that I mentioned quilting once, and somebody suggested that I look at getting a quilting machine. So that's what I did, and I've been quilting ever since. Slightly obsessed. To start me off with my new machine, I went on to the well-known online shop and searched for some books, and I found this book here. Hopefully you can see that properly. I will put a picture in as well. It's called The Urban Quilting, and it's by Wendy Chow, and it's quilt patterns for the modern day home, and it's got some really good it's got a good sort of getting started with all of the tools and things that you need, but it's also got some really good modern patterns that obviously, you know, depending on your colour preferences, you can make individual to you. But what I would say in here, and I haven't got any other quilting books yet, I have actually just ordered some other quilting patterns from another designer, but what I would say is the instructions are really easy to follow, and we know that I don't really like instructions, but they are from somebody that's a novice that's never done it before. They're actually really good, step by step, from, you know, cutting out tools that you need to putting the pieces together to different techniques. So I now know what a flying geese is. I know what a snowball is, I know what a quick corner is. So what I thought I'd do is just show you the first quilt that I made, and it's a large quilt. It's around 80 inches by 80 inches, and getting that through the sewing machine was quite a feat, but I've learned that you roll up the edges. So this was the first one, and I'll put a picture in. You'll also see it on our Instagram. I posted some pictures. So this is called the Chinatown quilt, and it's from the Urban Quilting book. And I chose sort of colours that were, I wanted to choose colours that I quite like and that I have around my home, although I've chosen yellow, and I don't actually have yellow in my home, but so I've got blues and greys, and the fabric I got was, I actually got it from Love Crafts, and it's Robert Kaufman Kona cotton. So what I discovered as well is that quilting fabric is different to dressmaking fabric. So it's a little bit more hard wearing and a bit more robust. So Robert Kaufman does some really lovely colours, but there's also lots of different patterned quilting fabrics as well. Liberty do a lot, so I've got this one here that I ordered from Liberty, which I'm not sure yet what to do with, and William Morris do a lot of lovely designs as well. So yeah, that's the Chinatown quilt, and then very quickly following on from that, I did this next quilt, which, let me hold this one up, because I then decided that the throw size quilt is actually quite big, and I did have lots of fun laying it out in the kitchen and doing the backing and the wadding, and I actually used pins to pin it all together, and then I did some top quilting on the top of it and bound it, but it was quite, probably should have gone with a smaller quilt for my first go, but that's not really me. So this one I did do smaller, and this one I have to just look it up because I can't remember what this one is called. I should know. This one is called Rush Hour. So it's an advanced beginner quilt, and I've done the baby size, which is 48 inches by 48 inches. So let me hold that up for you. And I've sort of just done this top stitching design. I followed the lines of the fabric round with top stitching, and I used some top stitching thread called King Tut, which is really nice. It's just got it's thicker than normal thread, and it's actually got some gorgeous colours. So I used a grey in that. Yeah, and then I did this sort of fan thing, which I'm completely made up, but I realised it looks quite Art Deco-y. So I'm not sure whether, I'm still toying with the idea as to do a design in just one of these fans, just to pick it out, but I'm not sure. So for now, I've finished it, I've bound it, and the back is a really nice soft fleece. So what I have learned as well, actually, from my first quilt to my second quilt, is the wadding, or they call it batting in quilting language, is really important based on how you want the quilt to feel. So on the first quilt, I used a Hobbs Heirloom sort of polyester, and it's quite stiff. You can see it's quite stiff, it doesn't really drape. I actually used as well bias binding to bind the edges, which I'm not going to do again. And on this one I used a organic bamboo cotton, and it's really, I'm not sure if you can see it properly, but it's really, and I think probably with the fleece back as well, it's much softer, squishier and more cosy. So I will definitely be using the bamboo cotton in the future, and potentially the fleece lining. So yeah, that's that one. And then I've started on my next one, which again is a design from Elden Quilter. This was just a design that she had on her website, and this is called Harlan. So I'm making that one at the moment, and I'm making a baby quilt again. I'm not sure where all these quilts are going to go, and I thought I'd just show you some of the pieces that I've cut out. So this is a quick corner, and these are flying geese. So my colour way is white, and this white's got little tiny sort of ticks on it. A black, which I was just drawn to, pink, and then a matte black, not that black, but a plain black. So plain black. So they're my four colours, and in this pattern, I want my pink is going to be these stars. My main colour, which is the darker colour, will be the black with the little, they almost look like little fishing hooks, but they're not. They're sort of they're flowers that are draping over. I'm not sure what make of flower they are, but so yeah, that's what I'm in the process of doing, and I've actually found it really therapeutic. So most evenings after work I will come up here and I will be cutting out or stitching together for a good couple of hours, and I just find it is a nice wind down after work. So highly recommended. It's repetitive, but it's quite nice where it's a bit like dressmaking, isn't it? You start off with a piece of plain fabric and you end up with something wonderful at the end of it. I think it's quite miraculous, really. So I thought I'd just show you a couple of other things that I bought, fabrics that I bought. This one was initially to make the Harlan quilt that I just showed, but I ended up going with the pink. This fabric was very much an impulse buy, and I just really liked it, so I will incorporate that somewhere. And this little Tilde Chambray bundle is just, this is a fat quarter bundle. I just love those colours. So I'm thinking of making a quilt that is predominantly got a white background, and these colours sort of fade, so they go from dark to light or light to dark. So I was looking at pattern last night, which I will probably use these for, but I just think there's something lovely about looking at those colours. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Jane and I did actually find, we were in Milton Keynes, and we actually found a shop in Northampton called the Bramble Patch, which is a quilter's shop, and it just is huge. It's like a TARDIS in there. They do classes for all levels. They actually have they have every fabric you can imagine by every designer. If you've got young children or you're thinking about doing quilting for young children, they've got some really lovely children's designs. They have a sale room, which is always good, and they have a display of quilts that different people have made. And they actually have in there a long arm quilter. So a long arm quilter, I have learned, is a machine where you put your backing, you put your backing fabric, your wadding and your top layer into the machine. You choose the design of how you want the top stitch, so you can have some really fancy designs, and the machine does it for you. So it's a huge machine, and you could just hear it in the shop going along at the background. So if you ever make a quilt that you just think actually it's really special and you want to pay to have it finished professionally, then you can do that. So I think that's probably our new favourite shop. And I think that's probably me. So yeah, hope you're all keeping safe. Thank you for watching. If you want to see any particular pictures of things that Jane and I have been making, pop along to Instagram. And of course, what I'm going to start doing as well is probably putting some of these quilts onto the Etsy shop. So pop along there as well, SewmakingitupShop on Etsy. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.